Is clutter costing you offers? Today I'm going to share 4 different ways you can declutter your home so that the buyers see your home and not your stuff. Hey there, I'm Kasia. I'm a home stager, and in today's episode, I've actually dug up this old video that I did of decluttering steps, things that you can use right now to help you start your home staging process and strategy to get your house sold quickly. So it's really important to know that clutter can actually make the house feel smaller. So this is one of the first steps that you can do to get your house ready to sell. And I mentioned that in my purge that I talk about in my last video of my strategy for my staging my house and how it got sold so quickly. This is really important for you guys to understand because it makes a big difference. It really does. So by decluttering, you open up the space, you make it feel bigger, more open, more inviting, versus trying to wind your way through the area, a room, whatever's on the floor that you just can't get by. And buyers decide again in the first 8 to 10 seconds whether this home is for them, and the clutter can be very distracting. Now I know there are some of you out there that go, oh no, clutter doesn't bother me. Again, there's only a few of you that can say that. The rest of you, and a lot of you, basically, you walk into someone's house and you're kind of like cringing, going, oh yeah, I don't feel comfortable here. Yes, I know there are some of you that will do that. I know, but and when it comes time to sell your home, you want to put your best foot forward. You want it to look fantastic, right? Because you want to get the highest offer and get it sold quickly. So let's get into these 4 different strategies on how you can declutter your home. You can pick one, you can do all 4, you can try all 4, but I will share with you my favorite one, then that's at the end. I'm going to start with the 5-5-5 challenge. Normally it can be done in stages, but because it can be overwhelming, and you know how that can be. So what I came up with was using the 5-5-5 challenge. You take 5 things and you start in one room, so say in the kitchen, okay? You're in the kitchen and you take 5 things that you're going to throw away. Like maybe you go into your Tupperware cabinet and you find out there's some lids missing. They're just not together, the lids in the bottom. There's no pairs. Throw those out, recycle them. There's 5 things right there, right? So that's 5 throwaway things. Pick any room. We'll stay in the kitchen. 5 things you can donate. Now, maybe you got a gift, a kitchen gift that you don't use, or something that you don't use anymore, maybe, or you have multiples of them, like maybe you got married and now you have like 13 spatulas. You know, who needs that many, right? So cut it by half and pick 5 spatulas that you really don't need and donate those, okay? See how we're going quickly through here? Okay. And then find 5 things to put in their proper home. What I mean by that is there's something that doesn't belong in the kitchen. And my husband is known to leave his tools everywhere, especially in the kitchen because it's right near the garage. And so I'll find a measuring tape, I'll find screwdrivers, all sorts of little tools just left on the kitchen table. So what you do is take those 5 things and put it in their proper home. So that's what I mean by 5-5-5, okay? It can be any number. It could be 10-10-10. It could be 12-12-12, whatever you want, but I start with 5 because it's a smaller number, and as you get used to doing this, then you realize, oh, I can actually do this and find 5 things to throw out or donate or put it in its proper home, okay? So that's what I mean by the 5-5-5 challenge, okay? If you want to go a little bit further, you can also set a timer. So my second tip is a 15-minute timer. Now I have my middle child tends to just hate cleaning and decluttering her room and things like that. And so the only way I can really do it with her is you got to take it in bite-sized chunks. And that's where I will set a timer for 15 minutes and say, okay, go and do what you can in 15 minutes, then take a break, go listen to some music, go play a game, whatever, and then come back maybe later that afternoon and do it again. But as you get more and more, with it, then you can do that. 15 minutes now, maybe take a break for about half an hour, get back to it, because again, if it's a big thing to do, then you won't want to do it. So take it into bite-sized chunks and set a 15-minute timer, okay? Now, if you're getting ready to start staging your house and you're just not quite sure where to get started, I do have a free home staging guide. So again, free, doesn't cost you a dime to download and get started on staging your house now. Because in this free guide, I share with you top home improvements, ways to influence buyers, what you can do to start planning on getting your house ready to sell, and some home staging tips to get you started. So if that's already something you're working on, you're thinking, I really need to get moving on this free home staging guide doesn't cost you a thing, that you can download today. So I will leave the link in the show notes below. Third tip I have for you is I call it start with one corner and touch everything. So maybe 15 minutes is, enough, maybe not enough, kind of play with it, but you just don't know where to begin. So start with one corner of the room. So maybe you're in a living room and the books are scattered, or the bookshelves aren't looking, a little too full, you know what I mean? Then you just start and work on that one area right there. But what we're doing at that time, we're also doing the 5-5-5 challenge at the same time. So we're adding steps as we go through, and that's how you can see, okay, I got my steps, I've got this corner done. Okay, so we're just building on it. You see what I mean? So when you touch things, basically it makes you make a decision. Okay, so you got to decide, does it really belong here? Can I live without this? Maybe it's broken, those kinds of things. Now, my final and fourth favorite one is the hallway dump. I call it the hallway dump because basically what I do is I take one room and I start pulling things out that don't belong there. For example, if you take a kid's bedroom, okay, a kid's bedroom will have toys, clothes everywhere, school supplies, stuff under the dresser that you don't realize where did that even come from, things under the bed, yeah, dust bunnies everywhere. Yes, I know it, you know what I mean, right? So that way, things that I find in that bedroom, I just literally pull out because it doesn't belong there, whether it's trash, whether it needs to be donated, whether it needs to go to a proper place. Notice how I'm all doing the 5-5-5 all in that one room all at once. And I'm literally taking it out of the room and physically putting it in the hallway, and I'm dumping it there. And yes, that will create a huge mess. Yeah, but that's how I work, and that may work for you too. And then I most likely have like a trash bag that I just throw stuff that I know is trash, like scrap paper, crafts, art supplies that are just used, old, those types of things. I throw them straight in the trash bag, and then I can segregate things out in the hallway once I do that. I recommend when you do the hallway dump, though, that make sure there's either the family members are either out of the house, in a different part of the house, they're not in that room, because yes, you will create a huge mess. I know it. But then you can physically see the room, and you can see what needs to be in that room. So for example, in a kid's bedroom, you need to have a bed, obviously, a nightstand, a lamp, a dresser with a mirror maybe. If it's big enough, you can leave a desk and a chair in there, but it's not necessary. It's just, again, more clutter. You don't want to fill up the room. You don't have to. That's part of staging, that you don't have to fill every nook and cranny. So that's why I just limit it to the bed, the nightstand, the lamp, the dresser, and that's it. There should be, and I notice how I didn't say toys. No toys. I will leave a couple of stuffed animals like on the bed or someplace in the corner, depending on how big they are. But otherwise, again, they're just clutter. Toys don't go in the bedroom. I know the kids will probably disagree. I get it. I understand, believe me. But toys either need to be packed away because you're moving, right? Save the loveys that they can't live without. Pack away the rest, or put away in a separate storage room. Maybe you have a playroom that they belong to. Again, one of the 5-5-5 things I talked about, put it in its proper place. That's what I'm talking about. So that's where the hallway dump is literally one big massive clean out of one room. And when I do the hallway dump, I normally start at the first room at the top of the house, you know, pick a bedroom, and then I work from bedroom to bedroom and then downstairs, and everything is basically from that point on. I know that things that don't belong there either probably need to go downstairs or need to go in storage or something like that. And so basically I'm just doing a big huge sweep of the house and just pulling it all out and putting it downstairs and out of the house. Number one thing when you're donating, okay, which is one tip here, if you realize there are a couple of things, you maybe have some stuffed animals, some clothes, extra bed sheets, towels, whatever it is you find out that you realize you don't really need, put them in a box, put them in a bag, whatever it is that you're going to do, and then put them in your car or put them in the garage where the car is going to be. You're going to walk by it, because if you leave it in the room, you leave it in the hallway, you're going to forget, and it's just better just to have it ready to go, stick it in your car, so the next time you're out and about, you go to your favorite donation center and you're good to go, okay? So that's what I recommend when you're doing this purge, because a lot of times people have lived in their house for a few years. A lot of things have, you know, have you gained a few things that you probably didn't know you had, or didn't realize you had multiples of. Again, decluttering helps, is like I've talked about in a blog post before, it's the foundation of what gets you started before you stage the rest of the room. So for women, for example, when you're putting on makeup, it's basically you're cleaning the face, right? You're cleaning it all up, you're putting on your base foundation. Then next is the rearranging the furniture, adding the artwork, hang up curtains, whatever it is that you need to do to make it all look fantastic. And that's with the makeup analogy, you're putting on the mascara, you're putting on the lipstick and all that stuff, and you're doing your face and get yourself ready to go out, because you're going to show off yourself, right? And that's what you're trying to do, is show off your house. So decluttering is the foundation part of it that I'm talking about, and then move on from there to stage the rest of the house with rearranging and adding accessories and color. That's what I have for you guys as far as 4 easy decluttering tips you can do right now, starting with the 5-5-5 challenge, okay, where you throw away 5 things, donate 5 things, and put 5 things in its proper home. The 15-minute timer, okay, where you just set the timer and do what you can to clear out what you don't need in that room. Or start with one corner of the room and touch everything and decide what needs to stay and go. Or my favorite one is the hallway dump, where you literally just pull things out of the room and you take it out so that you can see the room and how big it really is. You'll be surprised. I know you will be. So I would love to hear from you. What I want you to do is comment below which room is the most cluttered in your house right now. So my answer, I would have to say the middle daughter, still. The one that has the hardest time with the 15-minute timer, she's still having a rough go with that. Yeah, and the close tie with mine, because it's just not, the bed's sort of kind of made, there's some laundry that needs to be put away. But yeah, those are my current ones right now. So anyway, comment below if you have one room that you just is really cluttered in your house. I'd love to hear about it. And if you have any other comments, please leave them below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.